I think that the true art stops time, whether it's a song, a poem, or a Botticelli painting. It stops time. It brings to a halt our discursive, conceptual monkey mind, and alerts us to something beyond that, a space far more profound. It makes the world transparent for that moment. True art always does this. Meretricious art inflames people with hatred or desire. The art of propaganda, the art of the kind of the pornographic art, as it were, which is what most art is nowadays. All that inflames the disturbing emotions. True art creates a gap, a space. Of course, one sees this most extraordinarily when one sees, like Chinese or Japanese art done in the medieval period, which reflected the values of Chan and Zen. There, one sees this as like a window into the infinite space. But one can still also feel that, to some extent, even in the Uffizi in Florence, when one sees Botticelli, or listening to a song, or listening to Beethoven, or whatever it is. Time is stopped at that point, and we live in such an extraordinarily distracted and hyper-frenetic society that true art is perhaps the one barrier that can be used to defend against that, and then create the space where people then can turn to contemplation, to the Dharma itself.
Yes, and I just moved to the UK.
Oh, just then?
Yes.
How interesting.
And before that I lived in Norway,
in
the
Norway.
Arctic.
Yeah.
And when I moved to Norway, I already wanted to learn to meditate when, that was in 1998. But there was nothing there.
Right.
So I forgot about it a bit, and then,
Yeah.
life just continued, and with all sorts of things. But when I moved to the UK, I thought, well, I want to learn to meditate.
Yeah.
And I thought there must be something in the UK here.
And had you read Buddhist texts before, or was it like you came cold, as it were?
I came cold, and I became really hungry once I met it. So I started to read
wonderful.
immediately.
Gosh,
Yes.
Interesting.
And I asked Lama
Oh, did
Jampa
you?
what can I read? And I just wanted to suddenly really get it all and understand it. And it was like, this is the direction to go in, to move in, because it's, like I said, it had something familiar that I really wanted to know more about, why that was. And,
something familiar.
Yes.
And all the time before and after you continued working on pictures.
Yes.
How did did it change the way you painted? Did it change your approach or your style?
Well, I don't know if it really changed my style, but it changed my attitude towards my being an artist somehow. I became more confident, because the thing I did find in the Dharma, slowly, bit by, or what I recognized, I guess, was that was something that I had also found in art, in making art. How do you say it? I call it's a transcendental sort of thing,
Yes, you mentioned that word.
This knowledge of there is another way of seeing and understanding life, or reality, or where I'm at, or it's art has always played that role in my life, as a comfort, as a strength, it teaches me something about about life that ordinary life is not telling me anything about.
I completely understand. You used the words beauty and truth in.
Yes. I always called it beauty. There is beauty in my life.
There's one of your. We're looking at a reproduction there. Proximity.
Yes.
Which was when you had cancer. You had cancer of the blood.
Yes.
It's almost as if you unconsciously understood or noticed the cancer before it was diagnosed, and it came out in the painting. Is that right?
Yes, yes. Yeah, there is a sort of premonition. Do you say that? I mean, that word is that quality of a premonition has been in my artwork quite a few times. In my drawings, but also certainly in my paintings.
Tell me a bit about this one, Molly, because this one is called Emptiness.
Yes.
And you painted it 2 years before you met Lama Jampa.
Yes.
But emptiness is such
in Norway
an important idea, and it's such a difficult idea to convey in Buddhism.
Well, I mean, maybe the good thing is that I painted this before I became a Buddhist, and learned about the word emptiness and the profound meaning of emptiness. But when I learned about the view, the emptiness, what emptiness is within Buddhism, I realized, that understanding somehow has always been with me. Because when I learned about that, that is one of the recognitions somehow, that is where art is, that is what I find in art, that this, nothing is fixed, and nothing is solid, and nothing is determined, and everything is a flow, and and it is, and that is what when I painted this painting, painting all this turbulence around me and in me, and then painting how the light fell in my studio and then it brought me just back to that, that life is nothing more than this flow, or this, the here and the now, and it moves, it changes any moment, and it is one moment this, one moment that, it is constantly moving around.
And you get suddenly it comes, you've got a slice there where it comes into sharp focus.
Yeah.
But then it's very sort of foggy and misty, and
yes, but that is like the clarity coming from it for me. It's like this. It makes it a bit clearer, all the noise behind it, all the turbulence behind it, and then the light fall on it, and it brings suddenly some clarity into where I am at that moment.
When you look at it now, do you remember how you felt when you painted it? What your mood was?
Yeah, well, it's always difficult with memories to how trustworthy they are, and looking back with now my understanding of emptiness or Buddhism. But I think I do know how I felt when I painted. The little clarity behind the light, or coming from the light. I felt I could move on. I had to move on,
There are kind of hints of figuration in it, isn't there? I mean, if you look at it long enough, you see it looks a bit like looking into trees, or perhaps there are birds or leaves, or does one see anything of that there? There might be in there, but that is then by perception. That's in the viewer.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Whereas this one, when we moved from this much more recent painting.
Yes.
Is that Refuge?
Yes, this one is called.
So this one is
16.
32 years ago.
Yes.
And the figuration there is much more clear. It looks like the branches of a willow tree, which are trailing down, and the stream is passing underneath. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
It's lovely. It's beautiful colours, and it's got a gorgeous sort of quality about it. Can you talk a bit about that one, and how you came to paint it?
Yes. Well, this one I painted when I received the good news about my cancer. That things were moving quite miraculously in a good way.
So this is 5 years after you were diagnosed, which is...
Yes, and after several treatments, chemotherapies and operations and all sorts of things in between. I received the news in 2016 that my bone marrow was suddenly doing all the right things.
Right.
And nobody could really explain what? Well, I can explain. I knew the Waitara retreat was going on in France, and for me, and the moment he told me, the consultant, this good news, because I was seeing him to talk about stem cell transplant. That was the only thing they could offer me, because the chemo didn't work anymore. And I didn't want to do the stem cell transplant because I thought I won't survive that, just having finished half a year of chemo. But anyway, they did do another biopsy of the bone marrow, and before it was quite involved with the cancer, but now it was not anymore.
Tell me about this picture. I can't remember what it's called.
It's called Ocean. That one is actually made on a commission for somebody. That is the first one I made on commission. Somebody who liked my work very much, and she asked me, "Do you do commissions?" And I said, "Well, I've never done that before." So and we talked about how I paint, the process, because I usually start with like a feeling or something that is present in my life, or it is not a really clear image I have in my mind what I want to paint. So I was explaining all to this how I work in my painting, and then she said, "Well, I'd like to give you a word." And I said, "Okay." And then she thought about it, and then she said the word is ocean.
Right.
And you do whatever you do with it. So she gave me the word ocean, which is huge.
Yeah,
you can do a lot with it. And so there are many oceans beneath this one, because I started to paint wild waves and big waves, small waves, and lights, and different blues, but they are all beneath this one. Because there's nothing so changeable as the ocean, as water, as the sea, as the. So I was never satisfied. So I was just doing layer over layer over layer until I kind of caught the essence of all that movement and all that thing going on, and it became like a very still ocean. And I thought, well, okay, so all the movement I've now brought to sort of calmness and stillness, with all I know there's a lot beneath that.
Right.
And yes, so then I thought it's there.
Yeah.
It's there. It's not visible, but it's there. The ocean is. This one is called Desire.
Right.
And I thought, well, that is actually nice to show here also, because desire, is one of the three poisons, as we call them.
Yeah.
I know for my life, the desire has been very destructive a lot of my life, of wanting things or longing for things, or always seeing somewhere in the distance that is nicer, or that will make me happy, or this emotion that we have. It's it has been very strong in me, and that is one of the things I really feel. That the Dharma is helping me with not to let it determine anything, but in itself, the desire in itself is a beautiful energy. I think it's because it's very inspiring also in relation to beauty and truth, and because it opens up your eyes, and it makes you open-minded in a way.
And this one is 2008. Tell us about this one.
Well, this one was a playful one. A play with about color.
What's it called?
Formation.
Right.
Formation. I didn't want to have any restrictions in form, so to speak. I just wanted to let color decide what kind of shape and form would come out of it, just by adding one color after another. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, so it was a playful thing. It was a play with colour.
Yes.
And that colour decides what shape, how they would communicate with each other. And let that determine the form and shape and you know, and make a composition. It's a composition. It's more like music, in my view.
The early modern painters must have spoken to you a lot in their work, or not?
Which one?
Kandinsky or
Braque
and Picasso, and so on,
yes.
or not? I mean, what were your influences?
Yes, I like Paul Klee a lot. Paul Klee, the Swiss painter, because he's also much about playfulness, about colour, but also about thinking about it. You know, how it works and how it's all about the perception, the visual language, so to speak, and to make things visible, to make the unseen visible. Because in the end it is about communication, and his work is very much about that, and I like him. But Kandinsky is one of my favourites, absolutely.
I see a bit of Kandinsky in there.
Okay, yes, because I mean, if you work with colour, I mean, Kandinsky is of course also all about composition and colour, and because this one was going to be about colour, and then see, you know, what happened with shape and form. It is playful, you know, it is always playful. It becomes